What is going on, Movie Mills? Movie Mills! If you guys want to get a cool hoodie like this, which is just incredibly comfortable, I wore it to the Taylor Swift Eras Tour film last night, and I was like, well, this is literally top 3 most comfortable hoodie I have. And we want to get to 2,000 subs. We're going to give this one, we're going to give one free to
Not
a
that
fan.
one.
No, not the one I'm wearing. We're going to give one free to a fan who is sharing us, liking videos, commenting on stuff. Please, please, please do all that good stuff. And join the patronage. Thank you, Moon Mill patrons, Kimberly, Karen. So let's, we got a lot to talk about today. And most importantly, pay your actors. You know, the writers, they got it. They got the bag, as we like to say. But pay your actors. And on that note, you know what, Kyle, I know we just said we'll talk about Tay-Tay, but let's go ahead and talk about the actors because that's a good segue, and now I'm ticked off. And let's keep the rants going. I got rants galore today.
Yes, I knew this was going to be a good one. But you're right, though. We do need to talk about the actor strike going on because there has been a snag. The SAG union and the AMPTP are at a standstill, and apparently the studios pretty much walked away from the negotiations on Wednesday because they didn't like what the studio or what the actors were asking for. They were asking for a 2% share of the streaming revenue, which the studios are claiming is ridiculous, according to the sources from the studios.
I read that would cost them $800 million a year.
Yeah, they would be paying $1 per subscriber.
Poor guys can't get their next yacht.
No, that's yacht money.
$1 per subscriber. Ridiculous.
Yeah, what a ridiculous thing to ask for. And of course, the unions or the actors union is also claiming that the studios are using bullying tactics during the negotiations, which is like the least surprising thing out of all of this. On top of the actors the actors within the union saying that there has been no agreement on the usage of AI, which is a little nugget that I do want to get into in a second. But on the other side, I saw that the studios are claiming that they're offering quote unquote generous increases in minimums, foreign streaming residuals, pension and health contribution caps, and relocation allowances. They say that their offer represent the highest percentage increase in minimums in 35 years and would generate an additional $717 million in wages and $177 million in contributions to the pension and health plans during the contract term. So basically, I'm bringing this up because I find it funny that all of these outlets, all of these people reporting on this are giving more information from the studio side and not from the union side. So bear that in mind when the studios are thinking that they're the ones doing all of the heavy lifting or being the reasonable ones, while they wouldn't even want to pay $1 per subscriber a year. But anyway, did you have something to add, Alex?
No, I just agreeing with the tilt of my head. You go ahead and
Gotcha. Okay.
You finish, sir.
So I wanted to circle back to the AI thing because right now, when it comes to negotiations, it's sounding like they don't have an agreement on the usage of AI. But at the same time, a new bill is currently being proposed called the No Fakes Act, which is supposed to protect actors, singers, and others from having their voice and likeness become AI generated. And while it's not passed yet, it would mean that it would hold companies, platforms, and people liable if they produce digital replicas without consent, which that's the key part of all this. Like, a company could still do that, but there has to be consent given by the person that they would take their likeness from. But we're already seeing that this is becoming a thing when it comes to like AI replicas being used as like background extras on a movie or a show. I'm sure if you're on Twitter and if you're on like film Twitter specifically, you might be seeing that one Disney Plus show that has the terribly generated AI characters in like the background of like some gymnasium or some sort of school event, whatever is going on there. But on top of that, it's even on major productions such as Gladiator 2, where extras on that show have claimed that their likeness was scanned by AI without their consent. Fire away, Al.
Isn't there something too about the studios were like, we'll pay you for your likeness. We'll give you $5 and that's it. I get to use you for the rest of eternity, and you can have $5 or something like that. Like, isn't there they were like giving out a flat fee was what they had come back to?
Oh, that hasn't. I haven't seen that, but I wouldn't be shocked if you're correct about that. I'm
That's
sure
what
that
I've
they
been
are
hearing.
like, hey, we'll offer you money, even though, one, the money is probably low, and two, that's only for a short amount of period, and using that money compared to, the rest of your life and beyond. I mean, I doubt it would be a residual type pay. I think it would be like a
There was like a
money
flat
up
fee is
front.
what I'm hearing. Yeah, like here is
Yeah.
some money. I get to use your likeness for the rest of eternity.
Right.
Ridiculous. This is idiotic. The reports are that the studios have lowballed their original offer when the strike started. You are greedy little turd babies who just little baby, just little baby. That's what they are. They're little babies. They just want all the money in the world. I just want all the money in the world. And look, I've read the reports. I saw that Disney is losing $900 million this year, and you're gonna sit there and be like, hey. We can't afford the actors. We're losing money. Make good products. Disney, get back on making good products. Marvel, Star Wars, put things in theaters. Come on, let's make great products again, and the money will flow. Well, I don't know.
Or stop losing money by creating
Pumping
a
out garbage.
direct-to-consumer not even that, coming up with a direct-to-consumer platform and streaming where you're losing more money than you gain.
Exactly.
Or stop doing that. This is your own doing.
It's ridiculous, especially
Just
if you own
because
Hulu.
you don't want any middleman. You don't want any middleman showing your stuff.
Yeah, especially Disney paying for Hulu and they're paying for Disney Plus. Why didn't you just make one? Lost some money. Like, you making me bundle. Make one thing and then you lose some less money. It's just ridiculous. You should be paying your people who make these projects possible. Bob Iger, you can sit up on your little yacht and you can chat with Davy Zazzy Boy all day long about how great it is to have 15 yachts and how cool you are and all this stuff. You're not boots on the ground. You've never been boots on the ground. You had money, you went into film production, and you're not paying anybody. It's absurd. You should be paying your actors. You've paid your writers 2%. Psh, make it 10. I hope you lose $1 billion. Some of these people can't afford health care because of the rules that you currently have on how hard it is for people just to survive. What is wrong with you? I'm looking right into the camera because I'm talking to you, Big Bob. Look, we didn't like old Bob, new Bob, whatever I called him. Bobachek, Baldy Boy.
I'm not liking any of the Bobs.
No hate on bald people, just not that one. You're all terrible. Every single one of you. You're awful. You're ridiculous. What are you doing here? I'm not going to give me $800 million. That's what you sound like. You've gone full Gungan. You've gone full Gungan. You're
Never
just, that's all you do all day long. Look, you're going up against the nanny. Did you really think you were going to win? Did you really think you weren't going to end up paying more? You're going up against the nanny. And behind her is every actor and every actress in history. What is wrong with you? A bunch of idiots. You're a bunch of idiots. Oh, I'm so smart. I make millions of dollars. Nobody gives a crap. You're an idiot. You've been an idiot since day one. You're an idiot now. And I won't stop calling you an idiot until you pay them what they rightfully deserve. They're asking for 2%. 2%, pal. It's not like they're sitting there being like, we want 50%, which is what you would be coming for. You'd be like, I want 99.9999% of all the money. You greedy little turd. Ridiculous. AI sucks. That background of that Disney show, garbage. Look, Georgie Lucas got a lot of flack because he was like, Steven, you can just digitally take those people. You can just copy and paste them. He does it in the Phantom Menace, but I'll tell you what, I bet you George paid the people a fair wage to copy and paste them multiple times. You should be doing that.
Flat fee, though.
Probably
a flat fee. No, I echo what you're saying. This is similar to the writer's strike in that it's not just them negotiating with like Leonardo DiCaprio. Can't talk again. This is about like the working class actors. This is about those who are the background extras. It is those who don't have like the leading roles or even supporting roles. It might be the roles that they might be able to get at a slim amount of chance for doing something that they love so much. And they are a part of a bigger cog in this giant movie television making machine. So, and that includes streaming. So they deserve the payments, not just for what they're making in the moment, but also how it stands for the rest of the time, how the show or the movie keeps living on and keeps making a profit for the studios themselves. So, and yeah, AI, we'll speak it. We've spoken about it before. We'll say it again. Like, no matter how well crafted it could be over time, it's just not going to replicate like a human emotion, a human interaction. Just absurd. Like, I don't want to see that in movies or television. I want the realness. So
Same.
yeah, don't know why people don't want that, but whatever.
It's idiotic. It's idiotic. People are just greedy little turd muffin babies.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, pay your actors. Pay
right.
your actors. Pay them. Pay them.
Just pay them. Just pay them.
It's ridiculous. I make $9 billion. I can't afford it. I just can't afford it. My guy, I literally live paycheck to paycheck. What are you talking about? Pay them.
Barely surviving paycheck to paycheck. Good lord. All right. So, do you want to talk about this Adam Aaron news? You want to talk about that next? The AMC CEO.
Sure.
So a new report came out that the CEO of AMC Theaters, Adam Aaron, was being extorted. I really cannot talk. He was extorted by a woman named Sequoia Blackwood, and she began texting him in March of 2022, pretending to be a number of different people. According to him, he thought that she was, and it says in the report, an adult woman, he had to make that specific, whom he had a relationship with beforehand. I imagine before, meaning before his marriage. And while he was or is still married, they sent dirty pics to each other back and forth. Or I shouldn't say that. Like, he sent her the dirty pics. It was never claimed in the reports if she did the same towards him. But afterwards, once she received it, she threatened to show the photos to the press unless she got money. And this is the interesting part to me. He just decided to come clean to the FBI rather than do what all of the other CEOs in this position would have done and like would have swept it under the rug or something like that. Like, he just outright came to the FBI, came out to the press, was like, yeah, no, I did that. Yep, that was me. That was me that did that, and she tried to get money off of me. So I would imagine that whether AMC and like their shareholders or whatever knew about this beforehand, now that this story's out, I just wonder what that means if, like, even though he admitted it, if he stays on board because of it, or if they're just gonna have him cut bait just to save the headache.
This says that he started texting this woman that calls herself Mia back in 2022 and she sent him photos of a 17-year-old Russian model that she presented as herself, according to the court documents. Aaron mistakenly believed her to be a ballerina that had done unmentionable things to him in a past relationship, and Blackwood did not dispel him of the notion. Instead, she asked him to send explicit photos, and he complied in a weeks-long exchange. Then she turned around. He said it on multiple burner accounts, pretending to be a fictional boyfriend, that he was a Vanity Fair journalist, and then she threatened to forward the photos and exchange them with news media if he did not send her hundreds of thousands of dollars. This guy's a sleazeball. That's just, at the end of the day, he's a wackadoodle. I'm about to rant about his frickin' movie theater chain here in a minute. It's ridiculous. That's disgusting. And look, I mean, he had a quote in there too that said something like, I want to prove that people should not get blackmailed. And it's like, maybe you shouldn't be sending nude photos of yourself.
You put yourself in this situation,
across
man.
the country for they're extorting you. Like, what a dummy. Why are all these CEOs stupid old guys? Put me in charge. I pay them. I give the actors 10%, 50%.
Now that they have money and power, they think that they can just have this sex appeal that
Yeah, they just go
if you've
full
seen
Gungan.
photos of them, they don't have.
No, they do not. I mean,
No.
look at Elon.
Yeah, I hope his
Elon.
wife left him. I hope his wife left him.
And I hope she
But
takes
you never know, right?
98%.
And give it to the actors.
And then the 2% to the actors.
Adam Aaron's buddies with all those CEOs at Hollywood, probably. She probably would give it to the actors.
Speaking of AMC,
Yeah, let's talk about it.
let's swift over to, there's a little bit of
Stop.
Taylor. To a little bit of Taylor, you know what I'm saying? A little bit of Taylor Swift, a little Tay-Tay. A little
Swift over, come We can't use her music 'cause we'll get copyrighted.
Don't care. Speaking of copyright, we just got a copyright strike on a video that came out a year and a half ago.
Which
WB is such a little baby boy. It was like a Barbie reaction trailer or something that came out so long ago, like the first teaser
one?
or whatever.
The one that made you $1 billion and you're now worried about it?
Yeah, suddenly they're like, they're the only studio that truly does copyright every reaction we do. None of the others really do it. Disney doesn't even touch it. But
Which is so weird. I
Warner
thought
Brothers
Disney would do
immediately,
it.
boom. Anyway, I went and saw Taylor Swift rock the night away, and
Nice.
we got our tickets a while ago, about a month ago. As soon as it was announced, we got our tickets, and we were like, "Are we going in an IMAX?" Like at the time we didn't. We know we didn't go to the IMAX because that's what it was. We were trying to go see it in IMAX, sold out immediately. So we're like, all right, we'll go to this theater, and then in our heads we just decided that this theater had also been sold out. It was not. There were 15 people maybe in the whole theater max. Honestly, preferred seeing it with that amount of people because the 15 of us were just singing along. You know, I was bopping to especially the bangers, and
Sure.
I'm an
I mean,
old
they all
Swiftie
are, but
head.
yeah.
I'm an old Swiftie. Couple songs in there, I was like, the Taylor. I'm loving the performance. Don't know if this is a song for me. I like some other songs better.
That's not
I
what
will
a
say,
Swiftie says.
favorite Taylor Swift song of all time, Kyle. What's your favorite of all time? I've got one, and it'll surprise you.
I don't have it off the top of my head.
I thought you just said you were a Swiftie. Don't give me crap. We all know you listen to the All Too Well 10-minute version every single morning
I mean,
while you're taking your morning dumpy.
that's not far off. I liked her, what is it, the Folklore album? I've liked songs off of that.
Just name a song. You're the music guy. What are you doing here? We all
I'm
know
just
you
trying
got
to-
one locked and loaded. Don't be embarrassed. Just
No,
say
I
the
just am
title.
trying to think of which one. I think Cardigan's off that one. Cardigan or Exile's off that one. Yeah. So I don't know. One of those two I've really grown to love. Probably would
I'm
be
not
up
a
there.
fan of Look What You Made Me Do. Just have never been. It's just not a song for me, Tay-Tay.
That's off the worst album though. That's
But
That
I
makes
will say
sense.
this. I think my favorite song of Taylor Swift's of all time is Christmas Tree Farm. I think she came out with a freaking bop of a Christmas song, and I think that is so freaking tough to do. Not many can do it. Mariah Carey does it. Michael Bublé, one album every year. He comes out of the woodwork. He's like, remember my album? And everybody's like, heck yeah, I did. Philadelphia Eagles, right there. Banger album. And then there's Tay Tay. It's my favorite Taylor Swift song, and obviously she's not gonna play it on tour. On this tour, she might play it maybe when she's over doing her international tour overseas, and then at Christmas time she might play it. But I was like, I just want to go listen to that, but I can't because it's Halloween spooky season, and I'm a member of the
allowed.
Spooky Boys. I'm a member of the Spooky Boys, and I can't be doing that. That's what I call me and my cat when we're watching spooky movies together at home, just the two of us. Started The Descent the other day. Haven't gotten a chance to finish it. Really into that. I think that's as bouv sublou, as I like to call it, in just a much better way. Anyway, the movie was great. It was great. The concert's obviously amazing. I was like, I get it. I would be having a blast if I was there. I did get a little sleepy in some of the slow songs, but I had a very, and I can't stress this enough, I had a very long day yesterday. So I was a sleepy guy, and then I hadn't eaten much. And as soon as we got into that theater, got myself a flatbread pizza. Pretty good. AMC, give you credit where credit's due. That flatbread pizza pretty good. Popcorn, downed it. pretty quick. I got myself a chocolate milk because that just weirdly sounded phenomenal, and
Nice.
it was. Don't skimp on the chocolate milk at the theater. And then I got a couple brewskis, just because I'm a weird guy. But it was
Nothing weird about that.
It was a great show. I thought the direction of the film was also very good. I think the way the director decided to do the cuts and where the camera was going to place, how they were going to do it, I thought as a film, when you're doing these concert films, excellent job by her. So, yeah. Great.
Cool.
But now to AMC and your crap. Okay.
This is what I wanted.
I walk into this theater, and it's so loud. You're in the bathroom. You can hear that IMAX going. Thank you, George Lucas, for creating the greatest sound systems known to man, because it's vibrating the whole thing while I'm trying to go to the bathroom. It's shaking. And I'm like, this is going to be wild. This theater's going to be awesome. I'm excited that there's not as much people in there. We walk in, and I'm just freezing. I walk in, I'm like, okay, look, I get the theater's usually cold, but, like, it is cold in here. You turn the corner, just like that. You do a little turn.
Yeah,
and
little shimmy.
It's just nothing but, like, really poorly made cement steps everywhere. There's a little bit of carpet going up, but everything is on cement.
Like a strip?
Chairs look like they went to the local theater that just got new chairs and said, hey, can we get your chairs from 1984? And they were like, sure, take them for free. And so they took those chairs, they plopped them down there. Incredibly uncomfortable. It's so cold because it's just nothing but cold, disgusting, nasty-looking cement crap, and all that cold air is just hanging out in there. It was the worst theater I have ever been. And I'm talking single theater. Not only that, AMC, you've got the little game room. We get there a little early. I am very good at the little block game where you get 3 blocks. You got to stack them. You got to get all the way up to top prize. I won a couple big prizes from that back in the day. Okay? I won a landline phone. Most of you don't know what that is. I had the choice between a Nintendo DS and a landline phone. I already had the Nintendo DS. I took the landline phone when I was like 13 years old.
And now
I
you're
was
mad?
I was like, people are going to call me. The only person who ever called me on that phone was my mom to tell me that there was a snow day and we weren't going to school. Okay? That's it. We get there, immediately win a minor prize. Just immediately. I decide to cash out, take the little prize, hit the button, little thing starts spinning, doesn't fall. I was like, what is this kablooey here? So I'm like, all right. But now, Kyle, this is where it gets interesting. I asked the lady, I only have a $5 bill. Can you break this up? She goes, no, there's a lot of people in line. I said, okay, well, it takes $5 bills. If I put the 5 in and then I only want to do it a couple times, I can hit the change machine, get a bunch of quarters. She said, absolutely. Got no quarters. Lost $5. Ridiculous. I put a $5 bill in.
You should not have trusted that.
I put a $5 bill in. AMC, I was trying to believe in you, but you continue to prove to me that Cinemark is the best of the top chains. I know Regal's awful. Cinemark is the boy. If you're not a local phenomenal theater, which they are many, and they are fantastic, when you're talking the big chains, it's not even close, especially with the popcorn. Cinemark's popcorn is dynamite. Dynamite. AMC's, okay. Regal makes me sick within 30 bites.
Okay? Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, we get on this machine, not a claw machine, the stacker machine. And I go, all right, I'm going to run it back. I'm just going to run it back. Mini prize again. Boom. Right off the bat. This is 50 cents a game. I'm living life. I go, all right, let's try this again. Click it. Bzzz, nothing falls. I was like, what are we doing here? Boom. Mini prize again. I was like, I'll try a different thing. Try a different thing. Bzzz, nothing slips. I was like, I put $5 in here. I'm getting my prize. Go to the major prize. First attempt at the major prize. Boom. Nailed it. Nailed it. Actually, I think it was my second attempt. Second attempt. Boom. Nailed it. The only options in there was a Iron Man, a little spinny, like probably $30 drone that you play with in your house. All of the other options were Bluetooth waterproof speakers for probably like $30. I was like, I'll take a waterproof speaker. One of the lights isn't working. I click the button, bzzz, doesn't fall. Are you kidding me? Run it back. Click it again. Play the game again. Boom, major prize right off the bat. Hit the button. Bzzz, doesn't fall. I was like, I run it back again. And I'm like, all right, I'll try a different one. I'll pick a different thing. Boom, major prize right again. Hit a different option. Bzzz, it's this close. It's that close. And as soon as it stopped, I looked down. I should have another 7 tries with my $5. It says error. It says error. And it's just blinking, and the little automated lady just keeps repeating the same thing. Stack them, stack them, stack them, stack them. I walk up to the employee, and I said,
who hates you?
I said, hey, I just played your game over there, and I think I broke it. I said, look, I won the major prize like 3 times. And they had a sign
I swear
on
I
there.
did.
Before I went up to her, they had a sign that said, if it breaks, you do not get the prize, but they will let you continue to play. And I said, I don't want to continue to play. I don't want the prize. I just want you to know that's dog poo-poo over there. What are you talking about? I should be going home about 3 waterproof speakers right now, a little drone. What is this? A couple of stickers. This is absurd. I put a $5 in there. Are you kidding me? I'm out $5.
You know those games are designed to never give you a prize anyway, right?
That's what... Tell that to the landline phone that I had back in the day, Kyle. All right? Tell it to the landline phone that my mother spoke to me on.
I'll call your landline
in my
phone
room.
and say you were a mistake. How about that?
Okay. Hey, I know it's a scam, but I just wanted to win, and I won many a time. Okay, I proved to myself that I still got it. I was just getting on the range, you know? I'm just hitting a few balls. Anyway, AMC doggy doo-doo. At Cinemark, if you do that, you win.
They would throw you a parade.
They give you the prize. They give you the prize, throw you a parade, say here's free popcorn for life.
They'd hold you on the chair and lift you around.
It's true. AMC
they really treat you well there.
AMC does have a decent Stubs membership. It is more expensive than Cinemark's, but Cinemark's still, for $10, I'm still getting more bang for my buck. I saved hundreds of dollars over the 2 years I had it. I'm not going to be saving that much with AMC already that quick. I can tell you that right now. But, hey, AMC, I don't know what that little dinky theater was, but it was garbage, okay? Just like the machine you robbed me of, I deserved. You owe me about 3 $30 waterproof speakers, okay? You owe me about 3 of them and a little Iron Man floaty drone, okay? I wanted to get my quarters back, tried to get the quarters back, couldn't get the quarters back. I wanted them back so I could put them into the claw machine and try to win a little stuffed animal or something, or win like a little toy. Nothing. Garbage. Or play a little basketball game. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But shout out, there was like maybe a 12, 13-year-old kid hanging in that little area. And he said to me, he was like, yeah, that machine stinks or something like that. And I was like, I know, man. And so then I tell the people, I go get my food. He's still there. He's still hanging out. And I was like, this guy got dragged to the Taylor Swift Eras Tour movie by his sisters. Probably had to hang. And he was like, you know what, I'm just going to go hang. And then I saw him over there, and I saw him kind of hitting the buttons on the machine that I had because he knew that all those should be sliding off. He's kind of kicking it. He's like whacking it a little bit. And I was like, I hope every single one of my prizes falls and makes that kid's night, and he gets to go home with all this stuff. I was like, I hope. And then when I left the movie, he was clearly gone because the IMAX got out long before us. And I peek at it on my walk over, and every prize is still in there. And I was like, dang it, I wish that kid would have just yanked, you just shake that machine until they fell.
I was thinking, like, in this situation, there could have been a kid that pulled, like, an old lady at Vegas type of move and just swipe your machine and get the prizes himself somehow. He just clicks it just right, and then he just gets all the reward off of your hard work.
I would have been proud of him, to be honest.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been mad.
He can have those waterproof speakers, okay? I have my own money about my own, okay? I don't need a little $30 boy. They ain't going to work in your bathtub. But hey,
so unrelated,
AMC,
I have a stack of speakers against my wall right now if anyone wants one.
I'm selling them for $24.99. All right, let's move on. What's next?
A24 and their acquisition executive, Noah Sacco, I believe is how you pronounce it. And by believe, I mean I'm totally guessing on the fly.
All right.
Has been there has been reports that over the summer he has been looking at projects that lean more towards being action movies or having big IP attached to them. So it's sounding like, despite them being in the game of giving theatrical releases, giving sorry, my speaker's acting weird. Anyway, despite us knowing that A24 is in the business of like the mid-budget movie, giving them a theatrical release, giving them creator-driven projects, that they are still looking into possibly going a little bit bigger in order for them to probably become a more profitable company than what they're at right now. Because yeah, even though it is great that we have these small studios like A24, it probably is still really hard to stay afloat when it comes to being more auteur driven at a time where audiences aren't really looking for that still. Maybe the tides could be changing soon, hopefully, but they still probably need something like, I don't know, maybe in the vein of Everything Everywhere All at Once, or a bit higher, to where they can have a bit more of a pop, a little bit more of getting money back in the realm that Everything Everywhere All at Once wound up doing, because that ended up being a more general audience type of movie, even though it was very auteur driven in and of itself. So I know that they are in the running to acquire the Halloween television rights. So
I think they won it. I read
Did
they
they?
won it.
I only heard that it was A24 and Miramax in the running. I didn't hear a result, but I'm sure you're right, though.
I'm pretty sure. Oh no! One day ago, Miramax wins TV rights to Halloween franchise. Miramax lands Halloween. Yep, it's coming from Deadline.
Oh, okay.
I swear I saw something it must have been a headline that was jumping the gun.
Clickbait.
Well, I'm pretty sure I saw it on Variety, so it might have been just they jumped the gun.
Yeah, could have been that.
But that's the television rights.
Mm-hmm. Because they do TV as well. They sell their TV stuff to people.
Looking at this site, don't know if it's good. It's a stat tracking site, but it has a gross box office revenue of A24 movies worldwide since 2013. And it is saying that 2022 is the most profitable year they've ever had, I guess, in this range. I don't know about ever, but I would assume probably ever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're making money. I get why they want to get into the big budget business. You want to be bigger. And it helps being able to then fund these small projects. I think the people at A24 understand. They're paying their actors. They can still make movies. They pay them on a completely different union, everything. So they continue to make stuff. They've got a really good movie, I think, with Emma Stone that looks really good coming out soon. So you just shaking your head there, Paul?
No, I was trying to remember what it was, but I don't remember the name of it now.
The Curse with Nathan Fielder and Emma Stone that I've seen trailers for. That looks great. A24 makes banger movies. I know people are like, why get into the big budget? Why get into the big budget? Those are the same people that get all mad at Florence Pugh for not making small A24 style movies all the time. Like, I think expanding is good. I don't think A24 is going to suddenly be Marvel. They're not going to try to make this cinematic universe, and they're only going to focus on this,
right.
Quantity over quality type stuff. They're gonna say, hey, let's get the rights to a big franchise, Halloween, something like that. We can put our spin on it. We can get really cool up-and-coming directors to do some of this stuff, and we might be able to make more money to really support more of these films, which would help us get a Talk to Me, with wide releases and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is not a bad thing by any stretch of the mean. Like, at all. I mean, the last A24 movie I think I saw was Talk to Me, and I think that is a top 5 movie of the year. It's so freaking good. I wish that came out in October right now, but it was like, I don't want to fight Taylor Swift. She's terrifying in her own right. So, Taylor Swift had the second highest October opening for a movie, I think, already, is the projections saying. That she will be number 2 October opening of all time. That's incredible. Go Tay-Tay.
What's number 1 then?
I don't know.
Joker,
didn't say in the article.
Venom?
My guess would be Joker or It. I believe the original It came out in October.
Yeah, maybe.
But
Yeah.
we shall see. What do you think about all this stuff, my friend? My
Um,
lord.
I mean, I've always liked A24 because of their auteur-driven methods when it comes to the movies that they make. It's been nice to have a studio who does think about theatrical releases, giving those types of directors chances to have their stuff go to theaters more than we've seen like in this era when it comes to movies and television. So it's been like just really nice to see those studios still around supporting that. But even though I do have my love for them for that reason, I understand that they are a business and having a lofty project or two is going to be beneficial for them, especially when they're seeing that they do have the potential to have their movies pop off a little bit more than they have already. Not saying that, they haven't had movies that aren't successful. I mean, Talk to Me and Hereditary are good examples that come to mind. Everything Everywhere, I just mentioned already, like that's probably the start of them of going in this direction. But yeah, I just hope that they still stick to their methods and they still stick to the direction that they're taking this studio rather than get the itch for only focusing on big IP projects. But then again, who knows how big this IP even is? I mean, this industry is so IP driven that Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie's production companies are trying to make remakes off of the Thin Man show from like, I don't know, 30s or 40s or something like that. And it's like, I don't think we like out of all IP, like I don't think you need to like have this one be brought back. I don't think anyone's craving that. You know what I mean? Like it's just such a weird time that we're in right now to where they're like, let's bring this back. People will want this to come back. And it's like, I don't think that's exactly what we're hoping for. So we'll see how they go long term, but I just hope that they're not gonna become so heavily focused on the IP. Just get a good balance of what you're doing best.
Yeah, this says their highest grossing movie of all time is Everything Everywhere All at Once, which made $111 million worldwide. I'm looking, it says it cost about $25 million to make. Hereditary is their second, which made about $81 million. Box Office Mojo says 82, so it's probably gone up since this article was written. And Lady Bird, banger, made $80 million. Moonlight, banger, $64 million. Uncut Gems, banger, $50 million. Talk to Me, $46 million, banger. So, Midsommar, $46 million, banger. I mean, these are just banger movies after banger movies. I mean, I'm literally scrolling through this, and it's like all these movies are just so freaking good.
Yeah, weird when you give creative people the leeway to make what they do best, and
I wonder what that when you pay your people. So go make one a year. Okay, we don't need to marvel it. Go make one big movie a year, big budget movie, and then you
get
just
one.
Sit there. You get one a year. A24. Hey, and if you ever want some help creativity wise, bring in the movie and the meals. Okay, we'll help you out. What else you got today for me on this show? Because I'm ready to take this hoodie off. It's toasty in this room.
How about we go into this Aquaman drama? And I say that not really wanting to.
Remind me the drama.
It was Hollywood Reporter's expose on everything going on with the shooting of Aquaman 2 while the Johnny Depp Amber Heard drama was
that's
going
right.
on, the
Elon
trial.
Musk sent like a very intense, demanding letter that you will not remove my ex-girlfriend from this film. He's like, I'm Elon Musk. And then
You're making him sound too cool.
James Wan was like, I never intended for Hera to have a big role in this movie from the beginning. And maybe that's not true. I don't even know if Hera really has a huge role in the first one. I mean, she does, but like, she's kind of just the damsel. Amber Heard's a fine enough actress. She's a cuckoo of a coconut. Who cares? I'm done. I don't even know if I want to see Aquaman.
We don't need to get into the details then.
I will only go because I love James Wan and I love Jason Momoa, who I think are just awesome. And then there's rumors, is that what you're going to talk about? Isn't there rumors that Jason Momoa was like drunk on set all the time or something too?
Yeah, so what happened was that Johnny Depp's fans during the trial were able to pay court fees so that way the release of Amber Heard's therapist notes could be seen to the public, which apparently is legal, but that's really messed up that people do that just because of celebrity. Like, don't do that, guys. Like, don't love celebrities that much. So the descriptions within the therapist notes, as I'm talking about it now, described according to Amber Heard that Jason Momoa would be intoxicated on set all the time, even though like PR afterwards like shot that down, saying like he has a drink like off set as normally as anyone else does, yada yada. But she also claimed that he would dress up as Johnny Depp to mock her, and also tried to have her pushed out as the role of Mara. And she also was claiming, or at least she was talking to her therapist, that when it comes to James Wan, she felt unsupported by him, and that he treated her like a pariah, and would have rules on set to where like she can't do any publicity of the behind the scenes stuff, like she wasn't allowed to promote the film at all. And there's also within the report, and not just from the notes, that sources from Variety are claiming that Amber Heard was nearly fired after Aquaman was released due to a lack of chemistry with Momoa. But another source,
the chemistry is bad in the movie. The chemistry is bad in the movie.
I agree, but another source within there did state that they had a chemistry test with Momoa and her, which helped her get the role. So it doesn't really seem like. Yeah, like they were saying,
but
like
that
like,
happens
is that
all the
true?
time. There's so many movies that have bad chemistry, and they clearly audition the actors. Like, it's not many actors do just get to walk on and be like, "This is my movie." There's not a lot of those. Even the high profile guys still audition.
Plus, those castings were also Zack Snyder's, and when you have another director coming in for the project that those actors are a part of. The chemistry could be good for one director, but maybe not good for the other director.
Exactly.
Yeah. And also, like Alex was saying about the Elon Musk thing, like, she told her ex-boyfriend, like, she was getting the sense that they were going to fire her, and so he wrote to WB saying, like, he will burn their house down if she's not brought back on for a sequel. Like, that was the length of how threatening it was, which Elon Musk could probably do. I mean, look at Twitter, right? Like, he probably could have done.
I know, Twitter sucks now. He would have been like, I'm going to buy WB, and then I'm going to ruin everything. I'm going to burn every comic book you've ever seen.
Like, we laughed, but, like, Elon that Musk really could have happened.
Elon Musk is a loser.
So anyway, that's about it when it comes to the details of, like, if there's drama, like, whether, like, that drama is true or not, or whether it's just claims that comes from a person personally. It's not like actual fact.
Feels wrong here in this, if this is a conversation that is between her and her therapist.
No, it's messed up that this got brought to light.
It's gross.
Yeah.
But Amber Heard also poops in people's beds and then is like, I didn't poop in your bed. It's like, I haven't been home. You're the only one here. You clearly pooped in my bed.
Yeah, that's been the frustrating part.
She got caught during that trial lying constantly. I mean, she got caught. I mean, you can go watch the game footage on that. She got caught lying constantly. So
they both were clearly not good for each other and need much help.
Jason Momoa also too went through a divorce not too long ago. Even if maybe a couple nights on set he was really depressed or something, and he was a little like, maybe it's one time right when he was in the heat of it, he was really having a tough time. They finish filming, he goes and gets really drunk, and Amber's like, he was drunk all the time. Like, you don't know what it's like, and maybe none of that's happened. I've never heard anything other than Jason Momoa is so sweet on set. I mean, you hear the Game of Thrones cast talk about him from season 1. You hear even Fast and Furious, like they loved him, having him on. Like, it's,
sure.
Maybe this is just weird. Amber Heard is just upset that her career has completely fallen because she's crazy. That's what it is. She saw Jason Momoa come on with long hair one day and was like, "You're pretending to be Johnny," and he's like, "I've had long hair my whole freaking life. What are you talking about?"
Yeah, I did look at his Instagram, and he does dress up like Johnny Depp, but that's also like clearly he's been doing that for much longer than this whole trial.
I don't think he dresses up like Johnny Depp. I think Johnny Depp and Jason Momoa have similar styles in how they dress. I think when you say he's dressing up, people picture him being like Jack Sparrow and he's showing up being real kooky and over the top. And it's like, no, they both dress like Hollywood men. I can name you 5 other Hollywood men that probably dress very similar to them. Mm-hmm. Timothy Chalamet, Shalamala Ding Dong, I'm looking at you. That Willy Wonka movie's not going to be good. I just know it. It's going to be bad.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to poo-poo movie before it comes out, but sometimes you just get a sense.
Took one look at that Oompa Loompa, and I was like, this is just not gonna be good.
Gene Wilder, I already got the Gene Wilder version. I'd never need another anyway.
Amen. Do we have anything else on the docket?
Yes, actually, within that Aquaman report at the tail end of it, please get me off this.
No, you get
the article did make a note that many people inside of Warner Bros. Are speculating that another company could buy Warner Bros. In 2 years, and they're thinking the most likely suspect would be Universal. And I am so tired
at all until right now.
Oh yeah, it's like a paragraph at the tail end of this report. So
interesting.
I am so sick and tired of hearing of all these movie studios that don't want to be movie studios anymore. I am so tired of hearing Fox is going to sell itself to Disney, then Disney's going to sell itself to Apple, then Apple's going to buy Warner Bros. Like, I am so tired of hearing these stories. Like, it's so frustrating to see these companies think about, like, getting the most money for themselves and shareholders and just bow out instead of doing the thing and making movies and making television and making art.
It's the rich guy thing to do. My thing failed. I'm not doing well at the thing my daddy bought me. I'm not doing good with it, so I have enough money. I'm just going to sell it off. I'm going to go do something else, and I'm going to fail at that and fail at
this. It's just so frustrating to see these tech bros taking over Hollywood, acquiring these studios, paying the money that they realize that they don't have, or that money is actually gone. Like, it's not just invisible, like it was there and now you used it, now it's gone, so now you have to sell yourself to someone else in order to make it back. And you could say you looked like some business creative genius for doing nothing. Like, I am so tired of this crap.
I picture, because Zazzy Boy was the head of Discovery, and what was the company? Isn't there another big company or whatever that he's the head of, and he bought his company, then bought Warner Brothers, right? That's what happened?
Yeah, he owns the Discovery company, which has, like, I don't know, TLC and History Channel.
Has a bunch of those channels.
Yeah.
And he bought it from, was it AT&T and Warner, right? He bought it from them.
They had them, yeah.
So I picture Zazzy Boy buying it, because he hasn't owned it very long. I picture him buying it, and he's like sitting in his office right before this article comes out. He goes, "It's just all the people, they just want all the money that I've worked so hard to get. I just worked so hard. All these actors and writers, they won't do it. Everybody hates Max. They don't like the name I came up with. Nobody likes anything I'm doing. I don't want this anymore." Like, I just picture him whining like the little bratty boy he is. I hope you're watching, Zazzy Boy. Look right at me. You're a little whiny little baby boy. I don't care if you can ruin me my whole life. I don't care if you can hire a hitman to kill me. You think my life is precious? What are you talking about?
Hold on, wait a minute.
Kyle, we're depressed millennials. We don't care.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, Zazzy Boy, you're a loser. I literally picture him whining like he's in an Austin Powers movie. He's just sitting there whining. And he's just mad at everything going on in his life. It's his life so hard. It's just so hard being the CEO of a multi-million-dollar company. Nobody likes our movies. Nobody likes anything. James Gunn keeps getting in Twitter fights. Nothing's going right for me anymore. It's like poor Boo Boo Baby. I will say this. Universal is a good studio.
Alex, don't do this.
Universal No, hang on here. Universal is a good studio. If they're being sold to anyone, and I'm playing in this hypothetical, if they're being sold, I would much more prefer a Universal or a Paramount to buy them over Disney, over another massive, over Apple, over Amazon. I would much more prefer at least a movie studio that has actually made good content. I mean, obviously they've got Fast and Furious, which is not amazing, but they do a lot of things right. They're not in a lot of hot water that Disney and everybody else gets. So I think when you're looking at it from that perspective, that is good. Now, as soon as you were telling me the story, the first thing that actually popped into my head was the words from the late, great John Schnepp back in the day on AMC and Collider Movie Talk. R.I.P. to him. I remember one time when they were discussing would Disney ever buy Fox, and this was like a year or two before, he said what sucks about when these studios do this is now you get less content. You get less awesome movies. And he was like, I don't want them to buy the X-Men. I remember that was the big talking point. He was like, I love these Fox X-Men movies. I don't love all of them, but I love so many of them. And so when you're telling me that, that's the real first thing. I don't want Warner Brothers to sell to Universal because I would prefer them just to get rid of Zazzy loser and bring in somebody who can actually figure out how to run this company and make good content. Hopefully James Gunn will steer DC back in the right direction, and they come out with some really good stuff. I actually do have some hopes for the Harry Potter show. I just wish it wasn't a reboot. But anyway, I want more major studios because I don't want a monopoly by Disney running everything. Disney's not making quality. They're making...
Monopolies aren't good things for the rest of us.
No. They're
not.
I want to go to the theater and have all these options. I want to be able to go and be like, wow, the new Fox movie's out. The new this movie's out. The new this movie's out. And now it's slowly just becoming Disney or Marvel or Disney or Warner Brothers, and that's why I like to try and make sure I'm going and seeing other stuff. And that's why I also think A24 getting into the big budget game is a good thing, because that's another reason they are a good studio that makes good content. And if they make a banger of $100 million Halloween movie, just obviously they didn't win it, but something like that, and everybody's like, this is incredible, they've put a complete and great spin on it and it makes a ton of money, we're back in the ball game again. We got more studios in the ball game. So anyway, thoughts?
No, this is all a bunch of crap, and I hate that this industry is just becoming a tech industry and everyone's just acquiring each other to go out on top and say they made the most money just by selling themselves. It's so frustrating. I mean, look, these executives throughout the years have always been, losers. They always have been. But at least when you go back through the history of movies, you can tell that the people running these studios at least gave a crap about movies. They at least liked the art form itself. Bad things aside, they at least knew how to run that industry. They at least knew how to make movies right. And you're just seeing a shift where these new people are coming in and they just care about the stuff, the IP, the stuff they can brag about, and they don't actually care about making the thing. And it's just frustrating to see another story that is saying one company's going to sell itself to another, and everyone's saying, oh, then Universal's going to have DC Comics movies, how's that going to work? When it's like, no, that means that we get less of, like, all other types of movies outside of just the one thing that they're known for currently. It's such garbage. I hate these stories. I hope this doesn't happen, but it probably will because everything's dumb. Anyway, speaking of IP, you want to talk about Marvel?
Real quick, because we're reaching the end of the show. So,
all right,
very quickly, what's this? Is this the last story on the docket today?
Yes, it is.
Okay, what was the Marvel thing again?
Hollywood Reporter is saying that Marvel Studios is going to change their God, I'm sorry today. I cannot talk. Marvel Studios is saying that they're making changes to their television division by actually running their shows as if it's TV and not as if it's movies. So basically,
having a showrunner,
having a show Bible, having TV executives who only focus on TV, and they're not just hiring executives who do film but might do a little bit of TV every now and again. On top of that,
do a pilot. Yeah, they had to do it.
They actually have to shoot a pilot. They actually have to have showrunners. And previously what they were previously what they were doing, which we all knew, but now it's out in the open, is that they just film them just like movies. They shoot them at these budgets all at once at 150 million plus prices, and then they just go into post-production and they say what works, what doesn't work, how can we edit around this, what can we use to try to make this look better than it already is. And there have been complaints within this report that the show creators and writers get pushed to the side once the director comes in, and even still the director and the showrunner, or excuse me, the show creator can't give their input when it comes to the post-production side of it. So basically, those positions seemed useless to a lot of the creators on this show, and that was highlighted with the shows like Moon Knight, She-Hulk, and Secret Invasion, I believe. On top of that, they also mentioned that the Daredevil writers and directors have been fired from the show, even though a few episodes have been shot. Some of the things within those episodes will still be taken part within the show moving forward, but they're doing that because they're changing their ways when it comes to the TV side of things, because they realize, hey, maybe we should actually treat television seriously and not just think we can churn out whatever we can just because we made Endgame. Weird how that works.
Yeah, they thought Marvel was so big that they were like, all right, we're just going to make this show, and boom. And even, look, there's no problem. Like, TV has always run with, all right, here's your pilot. Execs watch it. I like this. Green light. Go make your 8 episodes. Oh, it was really good? Awesome. Now let's make it a 10-episode season 2. Great. I think everybody's enjoying this. Let's make it a 12 season, like that. Go back to that format. You shouldn't just be green lighting everything. And I've liked, I think, more than I've disliked some of the Marvel shows. But I think this makes a lot more sense, okay? If Daredevil is really this bad, they sat back and Kevin Feige was probably like, this is just not working out. This is not how this show should be. We need to cut our losses here, and we need to start from scratch. And honestly, at the end of the day, you're probably saving money doing that. So I think it's probably a good thing at the end of the day that it stinks that writers are being fired. You never like to hear that. But I think at the end of the day, it would be better to go back to that TV format. Look, we give him Bob Iger a lot of flack, said it last week, though. He is making a smart decision by saying we need to put these stuff back in the theater. Like, where I'm just seeing nothing but Star Wars and Marvel on my TV, and I don't want to see it on my TV. I want people to go to the theater. I want people to get that experience. Going to see Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was awesome because Guardians was really good. James Gunn made a quality film. He didn't make a quantity film. It didn't necessarily connect to a bunch of stuff with a post-credit scene that leaves you wondering what's coming next. It was back to basics, and I liked that. So studio execs are annoying. This makes sense. You should treat TV like TV. You can treat it like a movie in the sense where you do what HBO has always been doing. Here's your pilot. We like your pilot. We think people are going to like this. We're going to give you a modest budget. Go shoot me 6 episodes. Go shoot me 8 episodes. Then we'll talk about season 2. Makes sense.
That last part does remind me they are planning to move away from limited series. Like, they want to try to make shows that run for several series. Yeah, they want to do serialized.
Yeah, and that's fine. Lots of the companies do that. That makes sense. Yeah.
It probably makes more sense because shows do this cool thing where with multiple seasons you can expand on a character and maybe grow to like a character.
And you have a great opportunity right now, Disney, and something called Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. That can be a 6-season, 7-season show. There's enough book material to keep adapting. The kids will grow up as you shoot. Excellent time. Like, they'll just follow along with the characters. Anyway, we got to wrap this up.
Yep. Good
else?
On them to actually do the thing that they should have done before. Idiots.
Idiots.
But yeah, movies are fun.
Movies are fun. Go check out Tay-Tay in the theater, baby. Guys, what do you think of everything we talked about today? Comment below, let us know. Remember to like, subscribe, share, pay your actors. Pay them. Give them 3%. Give them 20%. I think you should give them 92% or 98%.
Seems fair to me.
And you can have 2%. You can live off of $800 million. Babies. And as always, thank you, Moo patrons, and thank you, Mom, for watching.
See you guys.